Hello. Today, children, we're going to be getting the Kestrel, like I said from the start. Yes, I know. It's been a journey. We decided to do the Polaris storyline, which is fine. We like the story of the Polaris. They like us. We're very competent. And yeah, what the hell were we doing? Oh yeah, we have to go to Rimmerta and the Pimen with the Vectukars and the Chitterkernimerners and the Bubada and the Zibada. Good words, Emily. Yep. Emily knows how to make content. Okay. Rimmerta. Foomp. Without pausing to think, you hold the 10 warriors itching to attack you in place with weaves thick enough to support the mighty tower that you have landed on, and start up the stairs you know will lead you to the Dektakar elders. Before long, you are standing before a table headed by Dunak, whom you remember from when you visited here with Drengar and Musentan in tow. Orihara would not interrupt us unless the matter were urgent, Dunak says, mostly to soothe the rumbles of the discontent at your sudden appearance. Her honor is impeccable, and we will hear what she has to say. You quickly recite the formula given to you by Tekarak, including the part about it being of interest to the ruling council, at which point everyone in the room starts to pay attention. If the elders of the Huron House want us to witness something of importance to the ruling council, Dunak replies thoughtfully, I would see it for myself. Wait for me in the bar. I will be there in an hour. Yeah, but what if I want illegal? Bar. You sense Dunak's keen intellect approaching, and you immediately stand and walk out of the bar and move to meet him on the way back to your ship. Why didn't you wait for me? He asks, and you sense that he is mildly annoyed. You answer that you sensed him coming and decided to meet him on the way to save a little time. I apologize for ever doubting your motives. He breathes sincerely, and you wave it away, telling him you don't mind. You quickly go through your pre-flight checklist, aware of Dunak's eyes widening every time you use your abilities to flick switches and push buttons without moving from your seat in the command chair. Yeehaw. Alright. And back to the hearing system. Bing, 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 bing. Let's go. Oh, Mosh system. We need to go to the Mosh system. Right. And that's my fault for not paying attention. Yeah, it'd probably help if I actually went the right way. Packed. Da-ba-da-ba. Let's go. Okay, I think y'all get the point. As soon as you land, you are met by a small battle group of warriors, obviously prepared to repel any sneak attack by Mosh warriors. As soon as they see you, they quickly back off, giving you a respectful amount of space. I see that young Dektakar warriors aren't the only group of people you have frightened into leaving you alone, Dunak chuckles. Although I can imagine that the eagerness with which young warriors these days try to gain renown could quickly become very tiresome for one of your abilities. When you reach the council chambers, you gain the attention of every person in the room with a subtle weave. Have you seen something of interest to the ruling council? Asks Tekarak a little obliquely. What I have seen is a first family that has treacherously and dishonorably allied itself with our most hated enemies, Dunak confirms grimly, in a greedy attempt to gain nothing more than mere power. Do not worry, he continues, holding up his hands to forestall the questions of the Hiran elders. The forms have been followed, and what I have seen has not been contaminated by either your views or those of Orihara. You can be assured that my word will be as law before the ruling council. Nobody can doubt its veracity. To keep it that way, he again forestalls any questions with an upraised hand. I would ask that you say little now so that no challenge of any sort can be made on the integrity of my word. We have come for Tekarak because he may be needed to take part in a meeting of the Council of Thoroughcares. You raise your eyebrows at the satisfied reaction of the Hiran elders to Dunak's last statement. If the first family has so disgraced itself that it has been removed from power, Tekarak explains in a low voice, the Council of Thoroughcares decides on who will be the next first family. Meet me in the bar in 10 minutes. I will be ready to go by then. As you sit chatting with Dunak, you sense the business-like approach of Tekarak. You surprise Dunak by predicting the exact time the Hiran Thoroughcare will enter the bar. Your abilities are truly amazing. Dunak marvels after Tekarak joins the two of you. Not even Tekarak here, who is widely acknowledged as the greatest Auroran martial artist in history, could sense such things. That's not terribly unsurprising, Tekarak explains quietly. Orihara is the preeminent warrior in the universe. She has not only defeated myself, but also Lyril, the most talented Velos warrior in recent centuries, and has fought to a standstill the almost godlike intelligence that now inhabits what used to be Velos space in the galactic northwest. I may not be as talented as yourself, Tekarak smiles at your mild surprise, but I'm not without my own abilities, and I am probably the most widely traveled person in the galaxy, with the possible exceptions of yourself and my battle brother Archandar. You may think that he has only a peripheral role in the recent goings-on in the galaxy, Tekarak warns Dunak, but he has not. More than that, anybody with the skill to intuitively observe the weaves of life has felt the disturbances. Yeah, Tekarak is Tekarak is misgendering us again. Wow. Fuck you, man. Oh well. Felt the disturbances she has made to the fabric of the universe on the odd occasions when she has unleashed her power, and it is frightening. Her abilities approach the limitless. Is that true? Asks Dunak. Could you say, I don't know, destroy a world, for instance? You sit thinking for a moment, and you realize that if you really wanted to, you probably could. You shrug and nod non-committally. By the gods, Dunak swears. Well, I am glad we have you on our side. You smile wanly, wishing that Tekarak hadn't been so forthcoming about your abilities. You stand, suggesting that it is time to get moving. Both Dunak and Tekarak sense your mood and nod in agreement. Where the hell are we going? There. I can get there from there, right? No, I can't. No, I can't. Damn it. Maybe I can get there from here? Auroran space is all kinds of jank. Oh no. No. Yes.
Attacking now. Understood. Attacking now. Commencing attack run. Understood. Attacking now. Initiating attack. Understood. Attacking now. Acknowledged. Understood.
Whoops.
Confirmed.
Alt-C.
Confirmed.
Go get him.
Understood. Attacking now. Initiating attack. Yes, sir.
No manta's lost. There we go. Upon landing, the three of you make your way to the chambers of the ruling council. As you walk up to the door that opens into the chambers themselves, you sense the hostile intentions of 20 young warriors who leap out at the three of you in an ambush. Having long since merged with the universe, you launch into a series of brutally graceful moves that end with the bloody deaths of all of your attackers. You quickly put together weaves thick enough to lift the remains, and you mentally will the door open. Calmly walking in and dumping the bodies at the feet of the three Mosh representatives and the Emperor, who all look momentarily shaken.
What is the meaning of this?
Blusters the Emperor through his surprise. It is another proof of the level to which the Mosh house has sunk, replies Dunok stonily. My word is as law, and I have seen with my own eyes the ships of our most hated enemy, the Bureau, in your own home system, where alongside your own ships they attacked us. All the forms have been observed, Dunok submits grimly. My word is uncontaminated, and I call to account the Mosh house for treachery and deceit, and I call for the Council of Thoroughkeers to be convened.
You can't do that. You need a full vote of the council first,
sneers one of the Mosh representatives. I move that the Mosh be struck from the position of first family, and that the Council of Thoroughkeers be convened, drawls one of the Tekkel representatives. Oh, that was Tekkel, not Dunok. I move that the Mosh be struck from the first family, and from the position of first family, and that the Council of Thoroughkeers be convened, drawls one of the Tekkel representatives, nodding in acknowledgement of Dunok's suggestion. Votes against? The hands of the Emperor and the three Mosh representatives go up, their faces going white when they receive no support. For? Asks the same member, and everybody else raises his or her hand. The motion is passed. This council is dissolved pending the decision of the Thoroughkeers Council. As one, all the representatives, barring those of the Mosh house, get up and leave. Meet me in the bar, whispers Dunok, and I'll explain what happens next. Anything worth buying? No, not really. As hilarious as those are, bar. After an hour of observing Dunok's movements to different parts of the arcology, he finally turns toward the bar and is meeting with you. Sorry for taking so long, Orihara. Dunok apologizes as he sits down, but as you can understand, I had a number of things I had to take care of. You wave it away, telling him that you don't mind. I guess you want to know what's going on, he asks mildly, and you nod calmly. The Emperor, his advisors, and the 3 representatives of the Mosh House have been sealed in the throne room, which will never be opened again as long as the Auroran Empire survives. That is their punishment for their treachery, and as they starve over the coming weeks, they will have plenty of time to think on their misdeeds. You are a little surprised at the severity of the sentence, but one look at Dunok's face tells you that he has no doubts about the suitability of their punishment. In a fortnight, the Thoroughcare's Council will meet, he continues grimly, and they will decide on who will become the new First Family. And although I don't want to preempt their decision, I would be surprised if the Heron House doesn't assume that responsibility. In the meantime, he says quietly, I have spoken with the representatives of all the houses, except obviously the Mosh House, and they have agreed in principle to opening diplomatic relations with the Polaris. Of course, this still has to be agreed to by the Polaris, and it has to be ratified by the full council when it meets next. But I would like you to pass on the offer. And one last thing, he says, looking you straight in the eye. There will be a great many songs written and sung about the events of this day. I swear to you, on my honor, that I will make sure that your name is mentioned first in all of them, Orihara. As he walks away, you realize that his last statement was no idle honor, and that he meant every word. All right. Whoops. Let's get out of here before we die. Well, shit. I tried to land, it didn't go well. Let's get out of here before we die horribly. Yeah, that didn't quite work. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's get right to the front. Excuse me.
Understood.
Aw. Okay. And now, I think we go back to Muhadi. Unless it's Kalari, but that's okay. Bar. Missions. No. Kalari. And I should have just been paying attention, but that's okay. Da, 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 da. Pardon? As you meditate to pass the time in your many hours in hyperspace, you start to occasionally feel a desire to completely merge with the universe. As you have only completely immersed yourself into the universe once, and were nearly driven insane by it, you resist the temptation. But you cannot help feeling that it will not be long before you are forced to do it again. As you dock on the enormous ring around Kelari, you sense that the entire council is waiting to greet you, and you suddenly understand that even these ancient and wise men and women have begun to succumb to the awe surrounding the mystique of your skills. Never before have you taken so long to complete your post-flight routine. You do everything you can think of to put off having to face people who are so impressed by your abilities that they can no longer recognize your humanity. But you can only avoid it for so long, and soon you are ready to exit your ship. "Welcome back, Orihara," smiles a healthy-looking Bisandrea. "We understand that you have an offer for us." Excuse me. That was very loud. Okay. You quickly summarize the events of your sojourn into Auroran space, ending with the Dunok's tentative offer to open diplomatic relations. "You will be happy to know," Bisandrea informs you after listening to your report, "that the Huron House will be the new first family after all the appropriate rites and ceremonies have been completed, and that we have received unofficial confirmation through Drengar and Musentan that they are still willing to begin talks with us. But for now, we wanted to thank you for your actions in not only destroying the remnants of the despicable Bureau," she continues, "but also for being a part of bringing to power a more reasonable Auroran government. You have our thanks and our admiration for your efforts, and we have placed a significant sum of money at your disposal, and it is our wish that you take the time to enjoy it." Okay. Not that you'll really sell me anything. Is this the hold-off? This might be the hold-off before the last step. Sorry, I'm pulling up the guide. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, baby. Alright. Tie. Tie. Mission delay. Yes. Okay. There are Nori out. Land. Over the past few months, you have been keeping an eye on the locations of Miranda, Lyral, and Pagina because you knew that once they got together, the day you had been dreading was fast approaching. A few weeks ago, you felt them meet, and since then, you have observed their search of the galaxy for you. As you slowly prepare to disembark, you know that they will once again ask you to face the crypt. It seems like every head in the spaceport turns to watch you leave your ship, and more than one Polaris casts a sidelong look in the direction of the small group waiting for you, before deliberately looking away. You walk over and nod in greeting, but none of them want to break the ice. "You know why we came," states Lyral, quietly pleading, "but you cannot know the whole story. We cannot evolve past the veil unless we have the cryptok to focus us. It is the way our mind is set up. More than that, we have no desire to leave them behind. Will you help us?" Yes. When you calmly nod, you cannot help but sense the surge of pride from everyone nearby as they try to observe the goings-on. "Thank you, Orihara," responds Lyral. "Of all the people in this room, I am the only one besides yourself who has felt the crypt mind, and so I know the danger you are placing yourself in for us. But without you, we would be lost." He looks over at Pagina, and you sense the young scientist's discomfort rise sharply. Our analysis from the last trip was again incomplete," he mutters uncomfortably, "but we were able to pick up some residual psychic phenomena embedded in parts of Velos." And Lyral, was able to identify the patterns as being similar to those of some of the members of the Cryptok just before the end of the Velos War. So we want you to go to Velos with Lyril, he explains, shifting in his seat, and then take it from there. And when you are finished, Miranda pipes up sadly, I will be waiting for you on Muar Haro. And again, schlepping my ass across the galaxy for your satisfaction. Tum ti tum ti tum ti tum ti tum. Velos. As soon as you entered crypt space, you were forced to defend Lyril from constant attacks by the crypt mind. For weeks, you stay immersed in the spirit of the universe until you are sure that you have gone insane. But after the first few moments, it feels almost natural, and you can sense Crypt's rising panic as she cannot penetrate your defenses. As a part of your enormously vastened perceptions, you almost unconsciously land on the surface of Velos and observe Lyril leaving the ship for a time. You sense him cast about with his mind, looking for a psychic trace of the Cryptok. With a small weave amongst the millions of weaves With a small weave amongst the millions of weaves you are willing into existence to foil the crypt mind, you draw his attention to what he is looking for. He returns to the ship, and you can sense his awe at what you have shown you can do. I felt the word, Kestrel, he says quietly, aware that you already know. And that was a planet once populated by us. I suggest we go there. You nod and take off again. All right. I forget what the efficient way to get to... Not this way, apparently. There it is. Before you even land, you can sense the faded remnants of the Cryptok's psychic aura as you absent-mindedly pilot your ship down through Korel's atmosphere. From the residue they left behind, you deduce that they partially embedded their minds into the nanites in an effort to escape detection by the ravaging forces of the Colonial Council. With a sudden whiff of inspiration, you realize that they actually created the crypt in an effort to defend this world, and eventually all of what was Velos space, whilst they waited for the spirit of the universe to awaken and return them to their natural state. Suddenly you know what has to be done, and you weave an invitation to the crypt into your defenses against her attacks, which suddenly stop, and you can sense her focusing her intellect into the grotto, where you feel the remnants of the Cryptok. With a subtle inclination of your head, you tell Lyril to follow you as you head in that direction. You sense Lyril's growing wonder and Crypt's apprehension as you enter the cave. Inside, you see 6 bodies perfectly preserved in cryogenic tubes. They must move on. You tell Crypt with quiet assurance. You must find your own way. Crypt nods and walks over to the cryogenic tubes, and in a sudden whirlwind of consciousness transfers everything of the Cryptok back into their bodies, before dissipating completely. You did it! Exclaims Lyril, and she destroyed herself to do it. You shake your head, telling him that she just gave back to them what they had given to her, but that she remains, although it will be centuries before she relearns how to project herself so intensely again. You gave him a few instructions on how to operate the cryogenic machinery before heading back to your ship. With relief, for the first time in weeks, you dissolve your union with the universe, allowing your mind to return to its limited senses with relish. While you were immersed in the universe, you sensed Miranda waiting for you on Muar Haro, and whenever the Polaris asks for your help, you know it won't be long until you are once again immersing your consciousness in the universe. All right, let's go back, I guess. Tum, 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 tum. It'd be really nice. Maybe this is the way. Because it doesn't really matter. There we go. Throughout your trip back, you can feel the spirit of the universe calling to you. Several times, the need grows so great that only with an enormous act of will can you withstand it. But soon, you know that it will grow too powerful, and you will cease to exist as a human being and instead will become one with the universe. During these struggles, you peripherally notice the departures of the Velos beyond the physical realm, and with a nod of your head, you say goodbye and wish them well. With your enhanced senses, you can still feel them wandering around the edges of your awareness, occasionally touching the physical plane as they learn more about their new realm. Finally, you land on Warharo, and you sense the relieved Miranda waiting for you. You know what she wants. You know that she wants you to give her a lift to Kelari to pass on to the Polaris leaders their unspoken debt to the Velos is now paid. I will take you. You tell her before she can speak, and you almost wince at the wonder in her eyes. Without a word, you indicate with a subtle weave that she should follow, and you lead her back to your beloved still not Kestrel sad face. She watches, her eyes widening in wonder, as you go through the pre-flight checklist without moving a muscle. After takeoff, you turn to Miranda and ask if there is anything else the Polaris will need of you. I believe that there will be one more thing, she answers reluctantly, the wonder in her eyes being replaced by shame. We have placed ourselves in an untenable position, and only you can extricate us from it. But it was not my doing, she tells you quietly, and I will leave the telling of it to those who were responsible. With a single nod, you turn back to your internal struggle against the call of the universe. You know that soon enough, all of this will be over. Okay. Let's go to Kellery. Yup. Kellery. You sense the presence of the entire Polaris ruling council, plus the caste leaders awaiting your arrival. Without digging too deep, you can feel the irritation of the caste leaders and the anxiety of the council members. Stepping out of the hatch, you are almost horrified to see everyone bowing. Without thought, you weave them all upright, telling them that you are still just a woman. It took us over 6 centuries, intones Bis Andrea formally, but with your help we have finally been able to pay our debt to the Velos. But we have another problem, she continues, and you can sense her nervousness. You may not be aware that we have recently entered into secret alliances with both the Federation and the Auroran Empire. The reasoning was that we could use our new position as allies to bring to bear some leverage on both parties in order to bring them closer together. Unfortunately, she tells you, her voice on the edge of breaking, things didn't go quite as planned. As part of our agreements with them, Miss Andrea explains in a small voice, we shared some of our technology with both of them. We had hoped that it would be used to raise the standard of living in both realms, but it is going to be put to use on the battlefield first. We protested, she sighs sadly, but they would not listen. Both of them proclaimed that they would not trust the other, and that the weapons would only be used in defense of their own nation, but soon their technology will begin to outstrip their tactical ability, and it will be possible for one side to breach the defenses of the other easily and cause enormous amounts of damage. We are within a few months of what could be the most terrible war in the history of mankind. You shake your head at the naivete of the Polaris before announcing that you will go to the bar for a quiet drink. You tell them that in 1 hour you will tell them what you will do. Exactly on the hour, all the leaders of the Polaris Society file in with expectant expressions on their faces. You smile inwardly, knowing that they aren't going to like your solution. The hour is up, Orihara, Miss Andrea reminds you politely. We are here to listen to your plan. You smile an empty, sad smile, knowing that you are going to manipulate them into destroying their own beautiful civilization. Join me on the still not Kestrel sad face, you say quietly. There is something I want to remind you of, and it is best that you see it for yourselves. With that, you get up and lead back to your ship before heading out into space on your way to Arza Iusia in the Zauyuso system to remind them of the sacrifice of their most historical heroes, Iusia. With luck, they will understand the significance of what you are trying to say. Okay. Let's explain it to them. When your passengers recognize the planet you are landing on, a few look puzzled, others look sad, but only 3, Yuso, Miranda, and Bissandrea, look grim. As soon as you touch down, you usher everyone off the ship. You are truly a warrior for our people, says Trey Inari, one of the leaders of the Trepira, after a long silence. Only one as great as yourself would even contemplate sacrificing yourself for all of humanity. You smile a sad smile and shake your head. It is not Orihara's place to sacrifice herself to get us out of our problems, lectures Iuso quietly. It is not she that will be sacrificed for humanity. That honor is saved for ourselves. Soon the Polaris will be no more, agrees Bissandrea sadly. We must destroy ourselves for the good of humanity. Thank you, Orihara, she says, turning to you. You have shown us the way. We remain in your debt. You shake your head before indicating that everyone should return to your ship for the trip back to Kelar-E. Upon landing, it saddens you to see the once proud Polaris leaders file off, looking like broken men and women. But they now know as well as you that the days of their civilization are numbered. Soon their entire culture will have passed away under the weight of upcoming events. I will have a battle plan for you soon, states Iuso, the only one still holding his head high. Bissandrea nods sadly, and Iuso bows before turning on his heel and heading toward his own ship. We will require a little time, Orihara, says Miranda quietly, seeing the distress on the face of Bissandrea. But when we are ready, we will find you. We will need your abilities to get us through this. You nod, wishing that there was something you could say to soften the blow to the very fabric of their lives. Instead, you smile a sad, empty smile and head back to your ship to feel again the thrills of being human, for you know that your own time also grows short. When you sense the approach of Miranda, you know the time has come, and you finally give in to the call of the universe and once again sink into the now comfortable union. Miranda watches with awe as you sweep up her mind on one of your weaves and carry it out to where you are focusing your mind. You know it is time to lead the Polaris into the war in which they will cease to exist as a nation. You must decide which force to lead, and the one which will launch against the Federation, or the one which will try to smash through the Aurorans. As you center yourself in the universe, almost absent-mindedly, you set a course for the Neha Memorial Station in the Neha system to begin the destruction of the Auroran war machine. Yes, we do. Let's go. Okay, now where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to gamble and say that we can get there from here. Yep.
Acknowledged.
All right. But we mustn't lose our escorts. because we're probably going to need them. As soon as I enter the system, I'm going to cloak. Mmm. As soon as you land on the station, the Neil Camoria quickly put down the Auroran resistance. Within minutes they are finished, and you have them announce on the Auroran holonet that you will next be coming to Aurora, so that they have time to send their entire navy to meet with you. In one fell swoop, you will destroy their ability to make war. Yes, we will. Go. It really is all of them, isn't it? As soon as you land, the warriors start almost delicately destroying the infrastructure used by the warriors loyal to the central Auroran seat. Within hours, while the Aurorans have retained their ability to build basic ships, all of the facilities used to build weapons and military-grade outfits have been destroyed. You realize that your almost cataclysmic campaign against the Aurorans is now over. For the first time since you began this war, you concentrate your perceptions toward the Federation operation, and to find it faltering at the last hurdle. You quickly pass on to the remainder of your fleet, your intention to meet up with the Federation half of the Polaris operation in the Sol system to help them destroy the ships there. Those warriors that remain capable of joining you do so in the final act they will take as members of the Polaris government. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what that is. Okay. And while we're here, it doesn't matter. Whoops. This did not happen. I was never here. We are off. Destroy the Earth. Whoops. As your mind sinks deeper into the union with the universe, you struggle to maintain your defense of the Polaris ships. More than once, only Miranda's mental cries are all that keep you from forever losing your sense of self. However, you finally reach Earth, and they receive the same treatment that the Aurorans got, leaving almost no central infrastructure left. You know that you only have one last stop left. Satisfied, you power up your ship after painfully withdrawing one last time from the Union. You want to visit the memorial of the man who inspired all of this. Once more, you go to Arza Iusia to leave behind your humanity. But first, let's... No, I'm just kidding. Let's get the hell out of here. Who are you shooting at? Not me. Yeah, and now they don't remember me anymore. Because their government was completely destroyed. And so the universe ended. Zaza. After landing, you take a few moments to enjoy your last minutes of mortality before you begin to slip into the seductive embrace of the universe and turn your attention toward the unfolding events of the galaxy. You watch as the remnants of the Nilka Moria limp back to Kalari, and watch as both their Federation and Auroran prisoners are released. You watch the sad drama unfold as Bisandrea surrenders her nation to both of them jointly. You almost chuckle when you realize that only Tekarak understands the gesture. They have destroyed our ability to make war, he explains to others. To make peace and bring us together, they have surrendered to both governments. We will now have to work side by side to manage the dismantling of their government, as they will not accept the ruling of one government alone. With a sad sigh, you smile sadly. With a sigh, you smile sadly and let yourself go. As your consciousness dissipates and you lose yourself in the enormous depths of the universe, in one final act, you weave into existence a memorial to your acts as Orihara, to remind future generations that you will one day return when you are once again needed. With Orihara gone, the Polaris were quickly and kindly assimilated into the cultures of the Auroran Empire and the Federation. Their act was never forgotten, and slightly less than 2 centuries later, humanity was once again united, and the first period of disunity, which had started with the Polaris exploratory expedition after... And the first period of disunity, which had started with the Polaris exploratory expedition and the Velos War, was finally brought to a close. Only the second period of disunity, which, due to the 2-century-long Shard War, resulted in many more deaths, despite being much shorter, marred humanity's development from ape to god. Oddly enough to all concerned, both periods were brought to a close through the actions of an individual named Orihara. In both cases, the person in question seemed to arrive out of nowhere, and once the job was done, they both disappeared again. More than a few people believed that they were both manifestations of the spirit of the universe, but such talk was scoffed at by most people. Scoffed at, that is, until one day, 50,000 years later, when humanity finally joined their Velos cousins beyond the Veil and learned the truth. In a final act of thanks, they left the word Orihara attached to every construction they had ever made. When, after millions of years, other youthful races finally developed interstellar technologies and stumbled onto the moldering remains of the ancient human civilization on 1,000 worlds, they could not help but wonder at the single word telepathically embedded into every stone. And so the legend of Orihara lived on. All right. And now, a Kestrel. I forgot this had a Thunderhead Lance on it. That's really fucking funny. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that we're no longer in an inertialist ship. Okay. We have a Kestrel now, babies. You know what that means? That means it's time to upgrade this shit. And also, I'm gonna, go to bed in a minute, but... too bad, because I don't know if the Kestrel is going to be able to actually... Whoops. Excuse me. Let it go. That's right, you can fight rage gunboats whenever you want now. I'd kind of prefer Thunderheads, honestly. They're more hilarious. Okay. So I don't much care for Vipers. Thunderheads are better. Oh, it'll fit. Okay. We're gonna need some mass expansion. Okay, 15 more. Yeah, we're not gonna need cargo again forever. So, that's fine. Because the entire purpose of our existence from here on out is universal domination. Actually, based on that, we don't need that. What we really need is more lances. But that's okay. There we go. Excuse me? Oh no! My reign of terror has ended so quickly! Oh no! It's all over for me! Whoops. I shouldn't have got a Pirate Thunderhead Bay. That's alright. Oh, that was really funny. Alright, let's fix that. Don't care. Okay. So we don't actually want that. What we actually want is because now we've got a ton of space. We're gonna want more Thunderhead beams, I guess. Which means we need to go. Oh yeah, I forgot we have these missions on us. We need to go to Korea. And I wonder, honestly, I really do wonder, whether or not the Polaris still exist in such a way that we can slap Polaris outfits on this thing. Because that would be hilarious. Oh, but it is late. God, this thing jumps slow. Ugh, I missed my mod Starbridge already. Rebel 2. Thank you. Okay. Thunderhead Bay, which I require a fighter bay license. Whatever, man, come on. That's why I didn't call for a license. Okay, now I understand. We're gonna want that. Gonna want that. You are supposed to sell Thunderhead Lances. Where are they? Damn it. I need the lances. You spongel. You spongel trunger. Where are the lances? You're supposed to sell them. Yeah, I don't care about that. Ah, fuck it. This isn't turning out like I had expected. Alright, fine. Fine. You know? We can be like that, we can be like that. Sell these off. Don't have room for any more of those. Okay. Let's go to Evle. No, let's go to Soul. Let's take the Soul wormhole. Let's see if we can slap a couple of... Oh, and I need to... Hello? Excuse me? There, that's better. Silly bitch. Okay. Fighter Bay license. Yes. Thunderhead Bay. Yes. Thunderheads. Yes. Wow, that's really, really big. Okay. Now the soul wormhole. Why are you mad? Huh? Why? Why are you mad? Better not be mad. Leave me alone. I'm not going to. I got pirate things to do, man. Screw you. I gotta go see what's left of the Polaris. Tum-ti-tum. Ti-tum, 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 ti-tum. Over to the Neil Camoria. No. Leave me alone. Wow, I really missed the multi-jump organ. That's like the first thing we're getting. And that, we're getting a bio relay. Oh my god. Okay. There we go. Can't hold any. Okay. Actually, that might... Oh, it's so much lighter! Oh, that's so much better than a Thunderhead. Oh, fuck me. What? Excuse me. Ugh. Well, okay, let's buy the multi-jump organ so we can go fucking sell off this fat-ass Thunderhead Bay and get some mantas. Just as God intended. Alright. Now that we've got the multi-jump, this should be a little less stupid. We can go to the Verashan wormhole. Let's go. That's right, it's southeast. At Verashan. What's up, man? How you doing? There it is. That'll do. Excuse me. Yeah, if the Manta Bay is like that light, then fuck it. Shit. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So. Yeah, whatever. Alright. We don't really need these things. Especially if we're gonna put Polaris shit on this thing. Yeah. Okay, and I've got 122 space available. So. Oh, I need to get rid of the fusion pulse turrets? Probably not. Much as I like them, I think I'll leave them on it. Yeah, watch me dick around in this Kestrel. This is a lot less fun, isn't it? Wait. The hell? How'd I get to Saul from Saul? No. Verashan, that's better. Thank you. Don't do that. That was weird. Okay. Nilpacetra, that'll be fine. All right, number 1, yes. Okay, no Manta Bay, huh? You probably sell it, and I just need to leave and re-land. I think it was like 50 outfits. Really? Okay. I'll go to Neil Camoria. If that'll shut you up. Oh. Yeah, we are technically in post-game now. But that's what I wanted to do, you know? I wanted to bring us into the post-game. None of these things are a Manta Bay. And I want mantis. Because mantis are awesome. Alright, let's go to Nila Crow. I guess. So I saw it there. Nila Ya. Ya! Nila Ya! Okay. Manta. Manta Bay. There it is. Bye. Okay. 6. Let's get a Neil Camoria jammer so we can jam. And let's get CPLs are hilarious, but kind of more powerful than we need. So probably be wanting this and this and this. We don't really need either of these. We've got our multi-tube, we've got our Manta Bay. Probably want a cloaking device. Let's get the turret. Yeah, the turret should do us just fine. So we've still got the Thunderhead thingamajig. Let's buy some armor. Organic shield. Organelles. Increases the restorative power. Yes, that's what we want. Manta Bay. 6 fucking mantas. Oh. Tunneling organ is... Let's buy one of these. There we go. And now we have a fully Polaris upgraded Kestrel. Let's go cause some problems. Okay, so what we're actually going to do here is... Oh, that was funny. Oh, I'm sorry, that was really funny. What we're actually going to do now is that was really funny. We're gonna blow up pirate ships. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much chance that we're gonna build a fleet of escorts or anything. But honestly, with Manta fighters, we're fine. But the actual point here is to get our combat rating high enough. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I make you angry? I think I did. Well, that's alright. No, no, not you. You. There we go. Point here is to blow up pirates. Until they like us again. You know? Just have to wait for a big fish. There we go. We helped. Okay. Maybe it's time to go to Gefchan, you know? I think it's time to go to Gefchan. Now, where the fuck was Gefchan? I think it was over here. Oh, I forgot this had hellhounds on it. If I sell those, I might get rid of those hellhounds, I might be able to put some better weapons on this thing. Alright, yes, merchant captain, leave me alone. Good job. Yeah, if I sell those hellhounds, I might hilariously be able to, put some marine platoons on this thing. Excuse me. Leave me alone. Oh, can I not sell them here anymore because this isn't a rebel station anymore? Oh, you Damn. Oh well. Whatever. Where the hell can I sell them now? That sucks. Do I have to go to Shield or something? Man. Maybe on Boral. Nope. But we are in Gefjon. Hello. Sir. Yeah, that's what I thought. Whoops. Go fuck yourself. Rage gunboats. Let it go. Don't care. Opals. Damn. Well, shit. Where the hell do I sell this shit? To go to, like, Outcast or something? I don't know. Hellhounds. There we go. Now we've got a bunch more space. Vector thrust. Yes. Okay. Platoons. 4. That should help. Okay. Now let's go steal a ship. Let's steal a ship and start our crusade. Powerful allies will come to our aid. 7 fighters, navigators, intergalactic space crusaders, Federation, dictators, scruples, lethal traitors. 7 fighters, navigators, intergalactic space crusaders. Yeah, boy. Ah. We don't want nothing with the guild. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. My husband is going to get real mad at me if I don't go to bed now. So, good night, everyone. We have a Kestrel. Tomorrow, or the next time, we're going to take over a planet.